Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we have a mission to wake the world up to what's possible, one brave word at a time. And here today to help me with that mission is Camille Miller, the lead author of a new book that we have coming out. Get ready for this title, y'all. The Ultimate Guide to Becoming a Successful Soul Professional. 22 powerful growth strategies for up-leveling your soul-aligned business. Welcome, Camille. How you doing today?
Thank you, Laura. I'm doing great. Excited.
I know, I'm excited too. Okay, let me tell you guys a little bit about Camille and then I'll let her carry on from there. But Camille Miller is the founder of the Natural Life Business Partnership. She's also the pioneer of the Soul Professional movement. Camille believes there is no great secret to creating a massively profitable business that aligns with your soul purpose. There is, however, a need to shift your mindset to get there. I read that part of your bio on purpose because I want to dive into that right now. So let's talk about that mindset. There's definitely a certain something that you need to go from starting a soul-aligned business to creating what I like to call authentic success. What is the most important thing you want people to know about this?
That everyone has the possibility, the potential to get, the financial wealth that they're looking for, but it all starts with the brain. It all starts with how they're thinking about it and then believing in themselves. So a lot of people create from a place of lack and not from a place of abundance. And I think that is the biggest differentiator between starting a business and actually getting it to that next level of success, actually getting it to what I say above six figures, but depending on where you are in the world, what success means to you, right? It could be seven figures, eight figures, could be 50,000, doesn't matter. But whatever success is, to keep it coming continuously, not just having a really good month and then a really crappy month and then a really to keep that continuous success is all up here.
Okay, I want to get back to that a little bit, but I want you to talk about what it means to you to be a soul professional. Like, you got this whole movement started. Tell us about that, and then let's talk about that mindset behind it.
Yeah, so Soul Professional came out of our rebranding in 2021, and we defined it as someone who lives in a higher vibration, has an alternative approach to business, and is here to help repair the world. That's our definition of a soul professional, and it's really about people that are creating businesses and brands, highly successful, and they're doing it authentically. They're doing it as inspired action. They're doing it to help others, to serve, but it's in total alignment with who they are. So they're not sitting at their desk, not liking what they're doing. They're not really happy when their day is over. It's really about being in this place of service and loving what you do every moment and doing it in a way that feels good and authentic and real. So there's really a blurred line between your personal life and your professional life because you love doing it. So we call it really dovetailing who you are with what you do.
The energy of that feeds you, which is how I know I'm on track. I don't lose energy. I'm not particularly drained from my work day at the end of the day. I'm jazzed and inspired. Yeah. That's one of my signs. I would assume it is yours as well.
Absolutely.
How else do you personally know you're on track?
I say it's from being in flow, right? And flow is really defined as just absolutely loving it, looking forward to the next day, the next thing, keeping the vision alive too, right? So I don't look at myself as having a job, but I'm really leading a professional society. Right? It's part of the strategy, the operations. I love the camaraderie of people getting together. Tomorrow we're all there's a whole bunch of us going on a hike, right? But it's not just about work. It's about bringing all of it together so everyone rises. And I really believe is when you have that give first attitude and you're helping others and you're showing up for other people's success, that's how you reach your fullest potential.
So there's a why behind your story. Like, why did you develop all of this? What's the story before you began?
Yeah, so I was a not-for-profit executive, and my job before this, I ran an organic farming association, and it put me in Washington working on the organic label and our health and food system. And it was in that role that I got to bring my whole self to work. It was in that role that I realized that I had been acting like a professional, not really being authentic. But in that role, I got to literally be who I was. I already ate holistically. I believed in alternative medicine. So when I started to meet all of these professionals that were also doing it, that's kind of gave me the clue, really. And then that job was defunded in 2015, and I was looking for what's next in my life. Where do I go from here? And I found that those business associations were very aggressive, very lead generating, but not from a good place. Like, if I can't sell to you, you're not my people. And I didn't love the way the general business atmosphere was. And I didn't feel very accepted in it as well, right? When I'm a very spiritual person, who I was authentically and talking about abundance and creation and, giving first, just didn't resonate with a lot of people in those business groups. But when I went to a holistic business group, that just didn't line professionally for me at all. It was like way too woo-woo, and just really wasn't where I wanted to align myself, because I loved the credibility of a professional society, a professional organization where there were people like me. So we started out as a little coffee club, and we grew into this international organization. Now we have members in 12 different countries, and we have masterminds, and it's really grown because as I've grown in business, I've needed to surround myself with other people like me. So as I grow, it used to be people starting out. Now, we have our inner circle, which is a much higher, and we continuously bring in, high level people that are building brands in alignment with who they are. They are running businesses very different than even I was taught in business school.
And this heals the world, y'all. Like, this is big potato stuff to do business differently. And being a sole professional for me, especially since I've been knowing you over the last year or more now, time is flying, right? It's meant that I can really focus on those things that matter to me, that have mattered to me throughout my whole life, and still do badass business, like still be my full-on successful in business self, but on top of a foundation that matters to me, awareness and helping people. And you mentioned a lot of the things. So I thank you for what you do in the world. And I thank all of your co-authors that came into this book as well. Kind of just a general thank you to all of you for being who you are and doing what you're doing. Community has meant a lot to me. I wonder what it's meant to you, and if there's any message you want to give to those authors today.
Yeah. So I don't always know all of the authors when I start on this quest to go find them. I know probably about a third of them. And then I ask people, who do you know? So they're referred. So my community grows as I do each one of these books. So I meet more people. And this book has been really, really powerful, I think, because it's all people that have built businesses, but then built them to a level of success. So it's all of those mindset shifts. I think a lot of the stories really resonate with mindset and what it took to go from starting out to being successful. So, being in a crowd of people that are highly successful can only make yourself rise, right? You are who you hang out with. So when you surround yourself with success can only happen.
So shout out to your Inner Circle program, because I want people to understand what Camille just said about, you have to surround yourself with people who get it, and get it at another level, get it at a level of like, I'm not here to complain about what's going bad. I'm here to figure out what's possible. And since you all might have been there and done that, we're going to mastermind this together. Right. And I had been looking for a safe place to ask questions and talk about, the support that I needed, et cetera. And I think that you have curated your inner circle so well for those reasons. It was a very, very good place to take the next step. Is there anything else you want to say about that group or that program?
Yeah, that was created because I couldn't find my people in the world. So as I started to reach the higher numbers, I was looking for my own mentors and I couldn't find them. And it's easy to spend $30,000 on a mastermind, but it was still the wrong energy for me. It was still about the numbers. It was still about, goal setting. And not that we don't do that, but I wanted to surround myself with CEOs that were international and had global teams. My team is global. It's all over the world. We're open 24 hours. There's this new paradigm shift happening, and they don't always have internet access or something happens, but I love the globalness of our organization and that people work virtually now, right? So that's a part of this new paradigm shift. And I wanted to be with CEOs that were also running companies with this belief system, also could talk about abundance and co-creating, or what could we do, or how do we heal the world? Because together, when our voices come together, that's how we make collective change. That's how we really impact, right? We build wealth and then we spend dollars on what we believe in. And I couldn't find it out there, so I created it. And now it's growing, and we have these massive conversations about, what's right, what's ethical, how do you treat your employees, it's HR, it's operations, it's, and now we're starting what we call a CEO series, and we're bringing in coaches that teach $1 million plus. So we have a series of just what we call our CEO series, leadership, powerful conversations that are interactive, so we can all learn from each other and others, how to bring these businesses even to a bigger level.
Well, if you guys didn't know, this book that we're talking about today is book number 2, that one over my shoulder there on the shelf. Do you have yours to show and tell by chance on your desk?
Yeah.
Okay, good. This book is the second book in a series, and here is the first book. Awesome. Read the whole title of that one for everyone.
So this is the ultimate guide to creating your soul-aligned business, 25 practical strategies from the experts.
So,
I was going to say, this was about building, how you went from whatever skills you have in the world to creating a business.
Yes, and the authors in both the first book and this next book that we're about to launch have stepped up with vulnerable real life stories, you guys. And the thing that I love the most about these books is they then step up in the chapter with their master teachings, and they're going to help you with a practical strategy. Oh my gosh, if I had had these books when I started my journey as a business owner, I think about it, I'm like, oh my goodness, right? And you're planning a third one. Want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, so this was always meant to be a series, kind of what mimics our membership. From those starting out to those that are probably still sole proprietors, but just building a team and growing, and then to our inner circle, which is all about leadership and leaving your legacy. So the third book will be about leading these new way of doing, leading your brands and leaving your legacy in the world. What do you want to be remembered by?
So you used the word authentic so many times already in this interview. I kind of am going to rewind you for a minute there. I think it's important because sometimes that word gets overused. And I want people to understand that when you are in that authentic place and you're being that authentic person, there's a feeling to that. But my feel might be different than Camille's feel. It could be different than the next person's. And I want to have a couple of minutes to talk about what that means for you. Like at the core, when you are out in the world, maybe you're on a stage talking to your audience, how do you know you're in that place of authenticity?
I think it's a feeling inside, right? There's no, should I say this? Should I hide a piece of myself? Which I think I did in my previous professional world, right? Or can I just be real? Can I just be like, this is who I am and it all comes out? And I can talk about spirit and universe and abundance and co-creating. And, all of my marketing is not fear-based. It's more, can I attract you? Are you the right people for us in our organization? That type of thing. So I think being authentic is feeling good about what you're putting out in the world every single day.
Well, you did an amazing job of showing us that in your chapters, both in book 1 and book 2. So thank you for that. Thanks for taking the challenge I gave you all to really step up and be vulnerable about that story and let us get to know and trust you. And I appreciate how well you and all of the authors did that. So you talked a little bit about a couple of the programs. Is there anything else going on in your world right now that you want to share in terms of your business aside from these beautiful books?
I think each year brings a new, something new in the world. After we finish this book, I really have focused on building our inner circle. I think that's the most important thing. So I'm finding more and more people are building these brands and not having the community. So we're really, really focusing on this very high level individual. We do have a free level, so people can start there if they're just starting out and they need some resources and help and master classes and networking. We give that away all for free now. We used to have a basic level. We just let that go because we really want to stick to the high end. And I think that's the biggest shift. We want really highly successful people hanging out together. And, we know that we may end up more of a boutique organization because of it. So now we call ourselves really the Soul Professional Society, because it's a little more special, but that's probably the biggest changes, I think. Wait, we did add one more section to our thing. It's the Soul-Based Excursions. We have a new division of the company called Soul Adventures. So if you want to hang out with other soul-based entrepreneurs and you want to travel the world with us or just kind of need people that are like you, we have Soul Adventures now. So we'll do 1 or 2 trips a year. Our first inaugural one is July of 2024, and we're going from Budapest to Prague for 11 days on a river cruise.
Wow,
that's be walking excursions, and it includes your food and your wine, and all with soul-based people, and it's a very small 100-person ship. So we're gonna do some really cool trips together. That's the new division.
That's great. That's a fun announcement to hear. Well, listen, Camille, just finishing with a huge thank you. Thanks for being in my world. And I'm so honored and grateful to be putting together these collaborative books with you. This is the mesh of topics is my absolute favorite and turns me on every day to work with your authors and learn from them. And our interview series, you guys, if you haven't watched some of the other ones, please go watch some of the other amazing authors talk about what they do. They will inspire you, like Camille does every time I talk to her. Any last words, anything that you want our viewers to really understand about being a soul professional?
I would say if there's any part of you that feels attracted to the idea of a soul professional, to come check us out. Come meet other people. We are not for everyone, and we like that. And we're okay with that. So if you want to come check us out, we got lots of free stuff that they can start there.
Yes, awesome. Soulprofessional.com. So if anything that we talked about today is piquing your curiosity, drop down into the show notes. I have Camille hooked up with her website there. Go explore. This is so much more than a book. This is a very generous community of author expert teachers, master teachers who are there for you to answer a question, to give you the support, to help you on the next step of the journey. And very proud of that community of authors that I've been building, who are really changing the world with their brave words, like all of the authors in your book, Camille. And of course, you guys are invited to our book launch party. So there's information about that below. We're going to have all of the authors of The Ultimate Guide to Becoming a Successful Soul Professional with us on July 14th, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to have a party so you can come be inspired and rub elbows with all of our authors. And if you happen to be listening to this interview after that date, July 14th-ish, well, come on over to Amazon, because that means the book is ready and live and you can purchase this one. You can purchase the first one. We can't wait to hear how you think about the book and the life-changing moments you're having in your business. Lastly, everyone, remember, your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone. Thanks, Camille.
Thank you.